nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
I was having a coughing fit, like right before we started.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you. Someone down the windpipe. Hello, everybody. We're late.
Hello.
Sorry.
Are we?
Yeah.
I thought we were right on time. That's
Well, we arrived right on time. We just didn't start right on time.
That's true.
Mm.
Kind of the
Right.
story of our lives here. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier. We are going to be talking about Randall Carlson, a little bit, talking about the moon. We got Ben from Uncharted X talking about his pot.
Yep.
We're going to talk about his pot
Pottery.
And many other out of place artifacts.
and many
As well.
other out of place artifacts.
Mhm.
So, welcome everybody. Hi, Garrett. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I think I got a little bit of the con crud. I'm still working that out. My nose is like stopped up. And this whole time. Con crud.
That could be from driving too, from having
It's true.
air conditioning.
I didn't tell you this. I drove all the way back.
Straight?
Didn't stop. All
I
the
kn-
way
I
back.
knew you would.
Insane.
I told you
How many
not
hours
to
is
do
that?
that.
It's like 20 hours.
17.
I think I cut it down to 18 and a half.
That's really irresponsible.
What did
I'm
you?
gonna talk
Oh
to your
my!
wife.
Yeah.
It's
don't
that
wanna know.
drive, you know, when I'm driving,
I just
okay?
got to make it back for base staff.
I'm
Then you didn't.
driving and I get there and it's like I've got like 2 hours to go and I hit like Fort Worth. At that point, I feel like I'm home already, so I might as well just drive through Fort Worth to Dallas to where I live.
Do you
Yeah.
like dehydrate so that you don't pee on the road? Because I have to like go to the
No,
bathroom.
I sync it up so whenever I have to fill up, I also empty.
Oh.
Fill up, empty. And if it happens
So
in
it's
between,
accidental.
then I get a Gatorade bottle with the big mouth.
See, this is the advantage of being a man. I can't do that.
Male
It's true.
privilege. I just
XY.
walk outside my
True.
door of the car.
Superior.
I'll pull over
Yeah,
somewhere,
exactly.
especially if it's a
Exactly. That
night.
too.
You know, whatever.
Daytime
Yep.
too. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Just
need a
giving some stuff
toilet.
back to Mother Earth. You know,
Exactly. The circle of life.
the circle of life. That's the way it goes.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad you're. What's up, Adam?
Oh man, I've been doing construction all week. I was outside. I had this old chicken coop that wasn't really a chicken coop. It was more like a shed that was built out of old windows. So there's like just walls of windows, and they were just using it for a chicken coop. But I rehabbed it. I gutted it completely and turned it into like this little studio for my wife to have a little like Zen studio. You know, I
Oh,
just
that's
finished.
so
Very nice.
sweet.
Yeah, I recorded the whole thing. I got her reaction to seeing it for the first time because I denied her from seeing the progress at all for like a full month. She hadn't seen it, so it was cool. Yeah, I finished, and it was a fun little project. So yeah, Garrett, were you the one who filmed all the interviews for Call?
I filmed half of them. Yeah.
Filmed a
Yeah,
bunch
there's
of them.
other-
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
it's
did
his
Darth Maul and Darth Maul.
That was a great interview.
That was really good. Yeah, we got a lot of good interviews with Darth Call. Go
Yeah,
watch
like
it on
that.
his channel.
Yeah, Darth Call. Check
A
it out.
lot of fun
Shout
stuff.
out. But I'm excited about this because I've seen this Ben's video. Well, I watched it at Cosmic Summit because I was watching via the interwebs when it was live. So I watched his whole presentation, and now I've since seen his video that he made based on his presentation, which has more slides, and it was, he was able to like show more stuff. And I just am so intrigued by all this stuff. I love it so much. If you look at it from this kind of a perspective where it's all in one spot, it's so hard to deny that we don't know anything about the
Dude.
past. You know, there's so much evidence that shows that there was obvious technology that was lost.
Mhm.
And he makes it's just a fantastic video that he put together. So shout out to Ben, Uncharted X.
Shout out. It was really good.
The video we're talking about is ancient precision vases, out of place artifacts, connecting the dots. So if you're gonna go watch that, this is full 2 hour and then 2.5
It's
hour.
worth it. It's
worth
actually
it.
like
2.5 hours.
very
Yeah.
entertaining for like a lecture style video. So
Yeah,
There's
it
so
ends
much
before
in
you
there.
know it.
Yeah, so
You
much
know, and
packed
just-
into there.
mhm.
There's a lot of stuff to check out, actually. So with Randall too, that we're going to talk about in
Yep.
just a second. Yeah,
Randall as well.
I'm also looking for that picture. I found one that's close.
Oh,
you
the
guys-
squares and
What's
circles.
a match? Yeah.
Squares and circles. But
Hmm.
like, what do you geoglyphs? We're looking for geoglyphs. We're looking for patterns. That's what we're doing. That's what we do here. But first, we have somebody who looks at boobs. X-ray girl, what's up?
I don't know how to respond to that. Yeah, technically yes,
Yes, you do.
yes, I do.
No lies detected. There
You know,
go.
my own
Professionally.
and professionally, yes. It's a very interesting job at times, but I am working off a headache now because we were playing a game called Classically Chained Together.
No, no, that was a good joke.
Kidding.
It was fun to watch you guys.
Oh,
It was fun to watch you guys.
My my head hurts from the stress of playing this game and wanting to not fall off due to stupid things. Also, happy belated birthday, Graham Hancock. You know,
happy birthday this week.
crazy.
75.
Yeah.
74?
I think
70
74.
Yeah.
Um,
24.
74.
Yeah.
74.
Things just keep getting
20
older,
20.
including
I-
Graham.
I hope that he, is way into the 90s because we need as much time with him as possible because I didn't know about his research prior to last year. So,
Yeah, and it looks like we're gonna get an Ancient Apocalypse season 2
Oh, yeah.
at some point. I'm
At
thinking
And he's
some
this
going to
year.
point.
Egypt.
yeah.
We know he's
I-
going to Egypt now.
I actually saw that there's a book by Luis Elizondo that's coming out during my research in I think 20 days. So I'm excited
gotta-
for that as
He's
well.
got to jump on the bandwagon
Yeah.
now that the iron is hot.
Yeah. It's called Imminent Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs. So
Yes, James
some
Fox
stuff
has
coming out.
James Fox has locked his newest movie too, his newest UFO documentary.
Oh wow.
So that's
I like
that's-
James Fox documentaries.
Yes, they're very good. So that's within I think probably a couple of months. It'll be on VOD. So we'll be reviewing that. And then we have Peru. We have a lot
Wow.
to cover.
So much coming up.
So much coming up.
Mm.
Mhm.
If it wasn't for that pop culture thing, I have all kinds of time for this stuff.
Always
So
being
much
silly.
drama everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
You have,
yeah.
And you have to be so negative about it, too.
I know, right?
Always reviewing things you hate.
Totally.
Oh wait, don't you have a stream after this? What is
I
that?
do. I do. House of the Dragon.
Hater
Finale.
stream. Just
Hater
hates-
stream. Yeah.
Hate that shit.
last
Totally.
last episode was so good.
It was.
It was so good. I can't wait for the next one.
I hope we end on a high and then we have to wait 2 years. Not excited about
I don't
that.
think
Wait,
it'll
how many episodes are left?
none.
One.
This is it.
This
This
is the
is
last
it.
This
one.
is the last one tonight. It's the
Yeah.
season
Yeah.
finale.
So yeah, they cut it down to 8 episodes so they can turn it around quicker. So it's not going to be 2 years. It'll probably be like a year and a half.
I
So-
hope so.
Damn.
And there's a Night of the Seven Kingdoms is coming out, I think in March or April.
All right. And along with 6 other shows and games.
Yeah, and no
Yeah, and video games,
fracking book.
cartoon.
no finished book.
No finished book. Whatever.
Mm-mm.
All right, let's the news of the world. The news of the world. I
we
honestly
need a
haven't-
stinger for this.
We do.
I love that.
I think we should do like I don't know right now. Something funny, kind of. But
Around
even
the
though
world and back
with-
again.
With Zorbu
with Zorbu.
in an alien ship.
He doesn't deserve that.
No.
Okay.
Take that back.
The UK is
Burning.
burning right now. Like what the hell's going on with that?
Well,
Yeah.
France just had the blackout.
Yep.
Last week. Now,
After the opening ceremonies.
yep.
So-
yep. Now it's burning.
As far as I can
UK's
remember,
burning.
Except the church. The church was still lit up somehow for some reason.
so Adam will probably pay attention way more because it's closer to you. So there was a march
Very much.
of Irish nationalists and English nationalists marching arm in arm, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy stuff. And then there was a bunch of fights to where they're like, the government wants to protect mosques. Are mosques getting attacked?
Well, I got to even take a further step back because this all started from an attack.
Yes.
A young man, and I say man, not a little kid, because the news were posting pictures of him as a little 11-year-old. Look at this little 11-year-old that did some things the other day, and it's like he killed 3 kids and injured 11 others. He was a
knife
man.
attack, right?
Yes. And this is what started, or this is what was the spark that led to these guys marching arm in arm, because they were protesting against the violence that they're dealing with because of the immigration policies of England, which is just let them all in. You know, they run the country now. Essentially, that's what it feels like. It feels like London and England's been falling for a while. I have someone who is a great chat member on my channel named V6 Neon, and he lives in England. He's constantly talking about what's going on over there. So, and he's got his ear to the ground on all things, and it's really crazy what's going on, because you're seeing them finally fight back against this violence, and the government is protecting the immigrants who are the ones who started all the violence, and arresting the people that were marching peacefully, mind you, against the violence. And it's like, what the fuck? So it really is, it does feel like the government of the United Kingdom is no longer for the citizens.
If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
Yeah.
By the way, that kid was in a Doctor Who Children in Need special, dressed as the Doctor. Yes, he was.
Oh.
And they had to pull it from the BBC. Yeah.
They pulled it because he was a murderer.
He's a murderer, and but they protected the guy who was soliciting underage children and giving them artwork, who was a presenter on the BBC.
I did see that.
So
I saw that.
if it looks like they're not on your side, they're not on our side, and never have been. And if it looks like they want to stir the pot and they want this kind of stuff to happen so they can come in with a magic solution that would probably be rounding up just normal British folks, doesn't matter what color, middle class, just wanting to get rid of that middle class and break it, because that's what the elites want. That all this talk about, we need the 1%, we need the rich to pay more taxes. No, they want the middle class to pay more taxes. The middle class is a big problem for socialism, because it's comfortable. The middle class is a form of comfort. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but there are people who have creature comforts, who can have some downtime. No, they want you to be a good, obedient worker.
Yep. It's a threat. It's a threat to the system, to the government.
The middle class is a threat to the entire system, because the middle class is the backbone of freedom, right?
And they're the class, or the citizens that want to,
and they're
to maintain sovereignty.
Yes,
right?
Sovereignty. They're more traditional, and they need to break that. They need to break that.
No, they want you to be in the welfare state. They want to be the religion that you worship.
I was talking
to government.
I was talking to Tony Plana, Jefe, and he's also been in over 70 films. He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's prolific.
A lot of stuff. One of the reason his parents pulled him out of Cuba in the 60s was the Cuban government stated, your kids are no longer yours, they're ours.
Wow.
And the parents said, well, the Cuban equivalent of fuck that, and left.
That sounds familiar. Why does that?
Doesn't that sound familiar?
Ring a bell.
Doesn't that sound familiar?
It's like
Nancy
poetry.
Pelosi
rhymes.
said that, and California, Gavin Newsom, pretty much all the Democrats, all the teachers.
Yeah.
The Department of Education. That's kind of their whole thing now, isn't it? Yeah. Wow.
They were devout Catholic, and you say working class, not middle class. The middle class is the working class.
Yeah. What's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference? The middle class is the working class. The middle class is what runs this country. Now, there's varying degrees of middle class, right? There's upper, lower, middle, whatever, but it's all middle class.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Not that the lower, like, poorer people don't work. I don't think that's like the difference there, but
no, it's the
the
erosion.
We're
making it harder for people who are not in the middle class to get in the middle class.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they want to keep people down, right? We want to bring people into the middle class.
That's what capitalism has done. Actually, it's brought more people out of poverty than any other like government structure system ever. Capitalism is amazing, and that's what created a middle class. Instead of having a kings and serfs, oligarchs and slaves, it created an ability for humans to become sovereign and then thus prosper in life. And that's what the middle class is.
Yeah, I fought really hard to get into the middle class, dude. I was in that broke as fuck class for most of my life. So it's to get to that point where you can afford, they being the government want to keep you out of that. And it's not, it's crony capitalism, not the true capitalism, not the entrepreneurial capitalism. It's crony capitalism. It's barely even that anymore. It's a corporate oligarchy.
Corporatism.
It's corporate oligarchy. That's it. So that it sounds exactly like what they want to do. They want to break that. And we were just there a year ago. It's outside of London, super chill country, dude. Like
it's very
you guys
nice.
went up. You guys went up to outside, outside.
Way outside. We went
even
to
southern, like the south area down where where Stonehenge is. That countryside is just great. Yeah, down to Bath
seems like a chill little town. I mean, cool. City, but
I'm not okay. So here he goes. This guy sporging out. I'm not in the UK. So whatever you
I
called
don't know
over
the
there.
differences over there. You guys speak funny, okay?
Yeah.
When
I hear
American
working
English,
class, I start hearing workers.
English.
When I start hearing workers, I start hearing communism.
Oh yeah, you get the labor.
Yeah,
I'm
working
in America.
class in the middle. If you're on the welfare state, if you're like dependent on the government, you're not in the middle class. You're dependent on the government. You're lower class. That's how I see it.
Yep.
Like if you as soon as you are making a living on your own, I feel that's like the beginning of being in the middle. Yeah. Right. And then as Gary said, there's varying ranges of how well you're doing in the middle.
Yeah.
Before you
and that's become, like why that's why the government doesn't like the middle classes, because they're not connected to them. They don't need them.
Exactly.
That's why.
So that's why they don't like them.
That's why they don't want your houses affordable. They want you all renting now. And soon, California's already implemented some of this, where the city buys up buildings that were abandoned because they're worthless now, and then they start renting. Then they become the renters. Oh, and then who are you gonna fuck? Who are you gonna complain to when somebody raises the rent? The government? Like, it's a lot easier to complain to some asshole landlord, to be honest with you. Also, there's rent control there, so none of the landlords really want to go there. The leader of Argentina recently got rid of rent control, and all of a sudden, people want to own buildings again and rent them out. And it turns out the rents don't go up; they go down because there's more competition. So
like in a free market.
Weird, like in a free market.
Yeah. Oh, free markets, huh?
It is interesting to think about the differences between the cultures, like the specificity of what a working and middle class is in the UK. What is that? How does that factor into all of these, migrants and asylum seekers that are coming from completely different cultures to ours? Well, and they have no idea of that. And
to be fair to the lovely UK, which we adore,
confusing maze.
No, class is way different there, and it's way more important because they have
True.
royalty and yes, like the guy said, they have a bunch of posh twats. That's the white woke
Is that
Londoners.
like aristocracy? The kind of like level,
well, they
posh,
do,
like
but
higher end.
but then there's also there's the royalty and aristocracy, and there's also just how much money you have and wealth, right? There's that. Silly Europeans, I know.
You guys have been around for a long time.
Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy what's going on now. I don't know what to believe now. Could it break out into civil war? Is it just riots in certain cities? I don't know. You guys will have to tell me if you're in the UK. It can't be fun to watch. You got your own summer of love right now.
Yeah, it's scary out there.
Yeah,
man.
it wasn't fun to watch over here a couple of years ago. So, but again, to be fair to the UK, they've dealt with this a lot more. So.
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe. We want to go back soon. Don't fuck with Jeremy Clarkson's farm, okay? Just don't.
It's a national treasure.
It's a national treasure.
You know,
Although
I haven't seen it yet, and I really need to.
Well, we're going to go back next year.
Cool.
We're going back next year. So
You guys better come visit Sweden then.
yeah.
I'm making it part of my
Looking
trip
at you, Garrett.
I'm making it part of my trip this time. Dude, it was so close.
Oh my gosh.
We almost made it happen.
It's like what, an hour away?
I can take you
plane
to
ride?
I
It's
can
very-
take you to
it's very short.
like 1,000-year-old Viking sites. More
That's
than
awesome.
1,000 years.
Yeah.
15. I know a
I wanna go see that
1,500-year-old
boat, too.
Viking spot.
You got to tell us
Vasa?
about that boat.
Oh,
I don't think
man.
we've talked
So-
since you went to the giant ship.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I did. So I went up to Stockholm a couple weeks ago, and I visited the Vasa Museum. Now, the Vasa is a ship that sank, I believe, in 1637, if I remember correctly. I'm off a little bit, maybe a couple years, but in that range. And this was the most formidable ship ever made. It had the most guns, arguably why it sank. And it was leaving the harbor, the maiden voyage, and there was no wind. So they were like, come on, let's go. They were all like trying to get it, and they were like, open the sails, and they opened the sails, and still there was no wind. And they actually rounded this corner, and as soon as they like came around this corner, the wind picked up and hit all sails, and no one was expecting it. And all the gun ports were open, so that the whole ship went sideways for a little bit as the wind hit it. All the water went in, and it just sank. It went maybe a kilometer and sank. You could still see the mast. They were hanging. The 30 people
It's out
still
of water.
died because they were down in the bottom of it. But yeah, they were just hanging onto the mast, waiting to be saved. And it's a beautiful ship, though. I filmed a lot of it. I'm currently working on a video.
It's crazy. Like the engineering that went into the ship. The ship's beautiful, and then
Beautiful.
some dumb fuck
Yep.
goes, "It's fine. The cannons on it are fine." I
Oh
heard
no,
your,
it's worse than that. Oh,
Yeah.
you okay? You heard that?
I heard
Okay.
your whole description. Yeah, like the
Mm.
cannon went to one side, and it just there was no wind, and there was wind, and then it just
Yep.
blown over.
Well, someone was in control of it. Someone was in control of the testing, like the making sure it's
Yeah.
good. They were like, "All right, guys, run to one side, run to the other side," and they were doing that and testing it before they put it out to sea. And the guy was like, "Oh no, stop doing that. We're gonna probably sink it." So they stopped the test because the boat was gonna sink, and he said, "All right, go ahead and send it off."
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a beautiful museum that they built custom for this ship, and it really is incredible. And they slowly brought it up from the bottom and moved it to shallower and shallower areas until they were able to actually get it up out of the water, and it is just incredibly preserved.
yeah.
This is
That's
you know,
crazy that wood can
1600.
that can stay that preserved for that long, right?
Yeah, the Baltic's cold. I mean, it is really cold up, especially up by Stockholm. So
Yeah. It's fucking
Yeah.
cold up there. Yeah, that thing is
Really
gorgeous.
dope.
It is gorgeous. Yes, Garrett is a COVID spreader, by the way, but he didn't get me this year. Neither did my wife. So
Zorbo, you should check yourself, sir.
yeah, you might want to
Make
get
sure
a
it
test.
didn't spread.
Clean them probes real well.
Monkeypox too. I check for monkeypox, Zorbo.
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
You're muted.
Zorbu! He's messing with my tech now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, that's crazy news. I'm not in the UK. I kind of saw it today going off.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Man. I didn't see that.
Going on.
Yeah, so I don't know how bad things are. Hopefully
Well,
they aren't that bad.
Tommy Robinson had a gathering of just like patriots, British patriots to just meet, and he was arrested shortly after because reasons. They just love to arrest him because they don't like what he represents. He represents sovereignty, British sovereignty, but still, and they really just can't have that. The globalists need everyone to just become this mindless sheep that just does what they're told. They hate America, especially because that Constitution, the greatest document ever made. That's right, I said it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't jump off. But arresting people who have gatherings, kind of a problem, and it doesn't really.
Yep.
It galvanizes people more than anything. So you're just helping Tommy and his cause. I like Tommy Robinson, by the way, quite a bit. So and I love the UK. I love England.
The people are great.
People are awesome. It's one of my favorite countries
For the most
in the world.
part.
If it wasn't for that wasn't for a government that would arrest people like Tommy Robinson, I would consider living there.
It's a nice place.
It's a nice place.
It's a really, really nice
Especially
place.
up north,
Sure.
man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh.
It's
Love the country.
God's country up there. And Jeremy Clarkson's farms crisps are fucking amazing. They're legendary. They don't ship them over here anymore. I'm so pissed.
It's the food,
Yeah.
Less
If we could get
When do they
Tex-Mex
ship to
or
me?
Mexican food over to the UK successfully,
Yeah.
that might actually be the spot.
Maybe we
In some form of government that isn't tyrannical.
yeah, sure.
You know,
We got to work on our own shit first.
that's true.
We don't
Fix our stuff.
we don't have much room to talk
Move
at
it
all.
over there.
We have some states to escape to, but that's about it, But yeah, I saw some people on Twitter going, yeah, what good states are there to move to right now? Texas, Florida.
Texas is
About
full.
it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Texas is
don't
horrible.
move
It's
to
like a
Austin.
wasteland.
Probably
If you're- if
Tennessee,
you're
maybe.
If you're coming here to fortify it, we're good.
Yeah.
We're
Very
good.
hot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not a good place.
Joe Rogan had a good show in San Antonio last night. It was pretty funny.
I haven't seen it
Tesla's
yet.
moving over. Like Elon's
Yeah.
moving all of his stuff over to Texas.
Bye, California.
Yeah. So I hope things get better there. We also have some Randall news. So Randall has dropped a couple Cosmography has dropped a couple of things in the last week or so. And he talked about the moon.
Oh yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
teased it at the
He
Cosmic
teased it.
Summit.
He did.
Yeah.
So Randall Carlson has this mythical at this point, moon presentation that we all want to see. And he let some stuff out. He went there, man. I freaking love it, by the way. So you might want to find the article too. There's the CNN article where they found lava tubes,
It's like this picture.
caves. So Randall thinks the moon is honeycombed.
That's such a wild theory. But wait.
I think
You're missing one of the greatest. The best part was he was asked at the Cosmic Summit, "What do you think about the moon?" And he goes, "Why? What in the world makes you think I know anything about the moon?"
Yes.
And then he goes, "But yes, I have a thing about the moon coming out soon."
Yes.
And I was like,
Why?
wait, what do you mean? Anyway, sorry. I just thought that was great.
So not like the perfect honeycomb we see here, but it's filled with lava tubes.
I was gonna,
Right.
because he specifies this is more just like a visual representation, but he uses the honeycomb as the perfect structural geometry. So and he thinks that that's likely what is inside of the moon because it's got so many anomalies with
Why
it.
it rings like a bell.
Yeah, it rings like a bell. It's got the mass to be perfectly spherical, but it's not perfectly spherical.
You can do it.
It's got a bulge on one side that's facing us.
We all do.
It's locked in
Heyo.
our orbit, 1-to-1 locked.
Well, maybe not all of us, but whatever.
Don't do the high jump.
Wow.
Did you see that?
Oh man, that was
I
bad.
saw a lot of that.
I like
on
how he walked
Twitter
away
this
too. It
week.
was just like nothing. What? Nothing happened.
He might
He's
not
like,
have
I just
won the
won a
gold,
medal.
But he wants something else.
The internet.
Didn't win the gold. Won the gold medal for the
lost
internet.
for having too big of a dick. Too bad for him.
Oh no!
But there's a lot of weird stuff about the moon.
So there is, yeah.
And he explains it.
He goes into it. So it's lava tubes, they think, which people did live in here and survive in here for a long time. But then he just goes there, man. He's all. So the article that came up after he did a podcast a couple of days ago that I still need to watch. I didn't know he did it.
I haven't seen this, so I didn't know about this honeycomb thing. So
Yeah.
I'm like, now I'm like
a little
itching.
bit.
I'm
Well,
like,
he
oh, I
pulled
gotta
that-
watch.
He pulled that from a podcast he did about 3 days ago. And I guess right after that podcast, CNN put up an article stating that there is caves on the moon. They found one cave. So there's more. There's thousands probably. And they said, hey, astronauts we could probably build bases in the caves, you know? And it's like, yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
And then Randall just goes, we've already been there. We've already been there. It's us returning to the moon.
Yes.
And you know, we could have almost titled this like Atlantean pottery and bases on the moon, or caves, or Atlantean caves.
Maybe
on the moon.
Atlantis is on the moon.
So when I say Atlantean, I mean prior civilization. So it just covers all things.
Yeah.
And it triggers
Umbrella term.
But
You
whatever
should have
prior civilization, he suggests that it's a possibility that during the cataclysms, the prior advanced civilization that was advanced completely different from we are, possibly, this is just a hypothesis, not even that, it's a theory. It's a Randall theory, that some of us went to the moon until things got better down here.
The Clovis people specifically, he mentions it in that other podcast that I told you about. He says, why don't we find any of the Clovis people? What's up with that? Where do they all disappear to? Well, I think they were evacuated. And I'm like, what? What do you mean evacuated? He's basically alluding to that the moon was an arc of some sort. Like that might have been the arc, is the moon. They all went up there and just like watched,
chilled out.
Probably the best view you can get, which is crazy to think
How'd
about.
they get up there?
That is a great question.
They need a ship of some sort. Technology advanced
like
enough.
the one buried under the Sphinx, maybe.
Or the one in the Mesa.
Oh, in the Mesa.
Which they did pop. They got through they finally dug a hole. They dug that first hole.
Might
I
be
did.
an Amazon jungle. Who
Where
knows?
it goes.
So I'm going to go over that podcast, and I'm going to, so Randall announced, I think he said around the equinox. Is it equinox or solstice? I can never remember. In September, whenever the fuck that thing
The
happens.
full moon. Something about a full moon.
And we head into fall, so it's the equinox, right?
Yeah, because this. Yeah.
Solstice is summer, winter. Equinox is spring and fall, right? So it's around September 17th, while they're on their trip. By the way, I had a chance to go on this trip and drive the bus. The guy from Grimerica asked me, he's like, do you want to drive the bus? I'm like, I wish I could, dude, but I hate to give the excuse I have to give right now because you guys would think I'm crazy, but Rings of Power's on. I gotta cover it. I can't take off for a week.
Oh, that's so depressing that you
fucking
are missing such an opportunity.
Yeah,
to watch Rings of Power. Ugh.
To cover Rings of Power.
Power.
We're also going to Peru the
Randall.
very next month, so I cannot travel. Like,
all right,
I can only travel so many times.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's going to be doing a presentation then. That's when he's going to do it. So like, look forward to that. We'll do a pregame on that. Maybe we get Randall on. Randall, come on, Randall.
I might have some.
Come on our show.
Rated.
We'll do it on the main
Okay.
channel. We'll do it on the main channel. We'll do it
Well,
on.
you guys talked to him, right? Did you like drop a bunch of seeds to like interview?
X-Ray Girl like chatted a lot of people up. She was very good at it.
A lot of people. Yeah. I'm talking Randall.
As good as she is,
Yes.
like online, she's a very good producer in person, going up to people and going, "Oh my god,
I'm
I
not
love
shy when it comes
Yeah.
to that.
I'll be honest, guys. It is so refreshing being on a show with a good producer. It just means a lot.
Okay. So we'll look forward to that. And yeah, that's a big tease. I'd like to hear how Randall comes up with this, because he does think things out. He doesn't just go spacemen. All right. Like, that's not his deal at all. So this presentation must be long and detailed, and I can't fucking wait.
That's a big leap to make between
caves on the moon, and we hid there during a cataclysm.
Yeah, so
that's why we still survived. And he did bring up the Clovis people, right? And he said that we might know, and we've heard this too from somebody who might be in the chat, that they might know where one is. And he said it was a 14-year-old girl, but they can't dig it
teenager.
up. They cannot dig it up. There's no way they can tell. So they
do like ground penetrating radar or some kind of.
Apparently, what my guess would be is this 14-year-old girl. I don't know how they know it's a girl. They had to find her in the right strata. She had to be below a certain line to be a Clovis person, right? Below a certain line in the dirt, in the ground, right? I don't know the details of it, but I'm curious as hell about that too, Adam.
A week ago, I was just reading some articles, and I found this article about a plan to create. You know, they have those seed vaults up in like Iceland islands. You know, that every single seed, every single type of document, backed up and whatever. So there was this article I was reading about a plan to do that on the moon, and I jokingly retweeted it saying, "Watch. It's already up there. We're just claiming that it's a plan so that eventually they're gonna just rehab it and be like, look what we made. Haha, it's cool, huh? So futuristic." But it's like they found it up there, and just like kind of that's how they sneak it in.
It'd be like our version of the kings putting their names on the
exactly. I was
like the Sphinx and stuff. Khufu,
exactly.
Khufu was here.
Humans are great at doing that,
and we do that a lot.
Little did I know, 4 days later, I would be watching this podcast with Randall Carlson, and he would just start dropping all this stuff about how, we've been there. We've been to the moon. This is just returning to the moon. Not from the 60s, from thousands of years ago. Like, that was just a retreat. That's where we survived the cataclysms of the past, because humans are supposedly, 250,000 years old? You think that this is
300 now. I think it's
300.
It's
everything
300 now.
Keeps getting older. But
getting older.
Even if that's the case, we were hunter-gatherers 10,000 years ago. So we went from hunter-gatherers to this. And it's only happened once.
If you believe,
really?
I
think so.
I don't know about human evolution. That's what Joe Rogan talked about this. But if you believe in evolution, which I generally believe in, as far as animals taking long periods of time, sure.
Adaptation.
The human thing doesn't add up at all, based on animals adapting to their environment. Totally buy it. That's fine. And it takes a long freaking time. But there's a missing link. There's missing links.
Oh yeah,
there's missing links.
That's what's so fascinating about humans and all the other animals. It's like, we do say like we're one of the animals. We're just like animals, and we get have that same kind of instinct. But there is something that's very distinctly different.
True.
But the way that we operate, given our brains and the way we use our brains and tools, and how we're built to use tools, and how that all kind of sinks in up to each other and makes us the apex predator, even though we're not the strongest, we're not the most ferocious, we're not we don't have the best senses. We need clothes. We have all these weird social connection things that we need for our brains to work. So it's a very interesting thing, humans and everything else.
Yes, the missing links. You're right, chat. Lots of links that are missing, just in my brain,
or like little cats.
Yeah.
We're just looking to be chained together.
And not saying we're the apex. Remy today got a new toy, and it was like the greatest day of her life. Greatest day. She was running around. She got another rope, just another rope. She takes those ropes and destroys them. But it was a new rope, and it was orange, and it was the greatest thing. It was the greatest day of her life. She was just running around the house. It's freaking awesome. She's a happy dog. We found out something about her.
Go on.
So I put on my Doc Martens. I got to dress nice. That's how I dress nice. I put on my Doc Martens, and for that San Antonio Film Festival, and I walk out of the room, and she freaked out, dude. She
Why?
would, well, she peed herself. She freaked out so hard. She started barking at me like
Does
she
not
didn't
like
even know
Doc
me.
Martens.
No, she does not like boots. Like if you carry them around, she'll cower and run.
What color are they?
Black.
Huh.
Is this your new puppy?
This is our new dog.
It's a racist puppy.
It's like the
somebody,
turtles.
or somebody hit her with
It's
the
just like
boot.
the turtles.
Hit him with a
Put
boot.
on some white boots. I wonder if
I'm
it's just
thinking her old
Yeah, they're
owner.
gonna-
I'm thinking her
it's
old
like the
owner.
turtle
might have-
videos.
Yeah.
I think her old owner might have. It was like fear. It was pure fear.
Oh, poor Remy.
And like as soon as we put him away, she was fine. She was fine.
Interesting.
Triggered her trauma, as my son said. We triggered her trauma. Yeah. So whoever the old owner was probably hit her with boots.
Oh,
so
that's
sad.
sad.
She's
Yeah.
so
How old is-
sweet.
how old
too.
is
But it's happy because
she a
now that
puppy?
you have.
She's 7 months, so she's still very puppyish. She's just big.
Oh man. So yeah. That sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you have her now.
Yeah, she's in a good home now. She looked out. So let's get into to the Ben's pot.
Yes.
The meat
I
and
have
potatoes
mine's
of the
downstairs.
episode.
Ben's
by the
pot
way.
stash. I was gonna hit him up, but it was like too like I didn't want to like come on this Sunday. It was kind of like too short notice. You got to give the man. This man does a lot of research. Ben is a great dude, by the way. We got to have
very
dinner
cool
with
dude.
him and hang out with him. He would have to prepare stuff, and he would need time to do that. But we'll have him on
That's
soon.
fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
But these
I
are
grabbed a couple screenshots.
Yes.
Especially of the vases. If you want to grab them, they're in for research. So there's the radial transversal pattern. I think you bring that one up first because that one's so cool. That really shows like the symmetry of these. And thank you for sending me one. You guys got me one at Cosmic Summit. I have it next to my bedstand or my nightstand now, and it's just kind of sits there. It's pretty cool.
yeah, it's amazing. And this is how big it is, by the way.
Yeah, very small. They're burial urns that they
Yeah,
use to put
real
their
tiny.
organs
So you
in
can
and
see
stuff. And
you can see the precision here of what these are and how precise they are. Perfect circles inlaid, and they are, when I say perfect, within a human hair. That's how perfect
Yep.
these are. And that's great. I mean, he has many videos that go into incredible details of I don't know how the construction could have been, although they don't really focus on that as much as showing the precision of these. Are these for sale? I don't think the 3D printed ones are. Are they for sale somewhere?
They might be. The
yeah,
person
you may be
who
able to
made
find them.
said hi to us, and they gave them out at Cosmic Summit. So you should be able to find. They should sell them, Ben.
Mm-mm.
Ben.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you should sell these. Yeah, I don't know how much they cost to produce though. They're just 3D printed, but they're pretty accurate as far as the 3D printing is concerned. And
So the thing,
go on.
I was just going to say, what stands out to me the most is these vases or vases, however you want to pronounce it, are not all one material, right?
No.
This is something that Ben talks about that's really incredible. They're different hardness levels between these. Like you could see the different colors. Those are different types of stone that have different hardness levels. So to get this type of precision, even today on the lathe that you can spin something, is very difficult because you would need different tools for the different type of stone. So we wouldn't even be able to do what was done with these things today, not to mention the fact that the lug handles are on there, but between the lug handles, the symmetry is maintained. Now, how that's possible is also as another mystery that just doesn't make any sense. So those two things right there make these vases to me some of the most incredible maintained, like antiquity.
Yeah.
They're amazing. I love them so much.
That's what's
I've
very
seen
interesting
them,
about them.
but I didn't think about it when we were in the British Museum. I saw
When you were
some-
bringing up the way that granite is formed is it has all these different elements in there. Like you were saying, that there's some that are harder than others. Some that when you carve it, it just falls off. Later on in the video, because it kind of all connects to these vases with the drill, the circular drill that you see actually a lot of holes punched all over Egypt. He goes through all of them, and he kind of starts talking about what technology does that take just to drill the hole at that level, because you have to do that first when you're doing this. Before you're even going to lathe it, you drill the hole down the middle of whatever rock you chose, and then you carve everything outside of that. How do you get a drill that cuts through in a consistent fashion on granite through the different types of, elements that create granite? It's a level of technology that we do not understand, and they try to just throw it away, it seems, in all the on-site museums and how they explain it. They say it's these chisels and it's this and it's that, and he does a good job in this video separating those things and saying there are hundreds of thousands of artifacts that are using the chisels and the soft bronze chisels and tools and copper and tools. Totally thousands of artifacts that are using those things, but not every single one of them. How do you take those tools and explain this?
You can't.
You can't.
You simply can't. Lathes had to be used with this kind of precision. Ben says multiple times, this probably can't be done today and we're talking by hand, not by a machine, by hand. Okay. So, and then there's archaeologists who go, yes, there is. And he's like, go for it. Then shut everybody up and go make one.
Do it.
Go make one, dude.
Be great to see. I'd love to see it.
I'd love to see it. Totally done by hand with the same kind of grooves that look like there was some kind of lathe used. And we've already shown this before, but if you stick a light in this thing, it shows through because of the material. It's
very thin.
It's very thin, and it's got other. So it's not. Is it granite?
It's granite. Yeah,
it's granite. So it's got other pieces. Granite has other pieces of material. You can see it in there that have different thick hardness, but it's all done smoothly. And anybody trying to debunk this has these have all been found. These have been found for years, by the way. And we just had one rich guy was able to find some, and good for him, by the way. That's why we need rich guys in the world. And they were peppered all over the museum in Egypt. I wish we had more time in the UK, the Museum of Natural History. I could do days in that place.
Oh,
it was unbelievable what we were seeing. And damn, the UK stole some good shit.
Yeah.
Property is theft
because they're preserving
property. They are. Yes.
Keep that stuff safe.
And it's great, but you see some of these pictures, and we're just going to start with the pottery. It goes up to other things too. That Ben, I love out of place artifacts, but when Ben approaches it, it's not like, hey, we found a hammer in a rock that's 1 million years old, although that could be real. He's talking about basically stuff produced by humans in a time where they couldn't have produced it. And he shows all the tools that Adam was just talking about, and they couldn't have done this. And it's extraordinarily rare, as Ben said, to find any kind of metal period anywhere in Egypt, because it was repurposed. It's hard to find. You could all the metal, and we're talking all forms of metal, including the rare iron that they found in King Tut's tomb, could fit in one room in Egypt.
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
Well, he goes into details about it because it was expensive to mine the metal, to get the metal, to bring it into the economy to start. That was rare. It only was the kings, the richest of the rich, that were able to even go get metal to begin with. So metal was incredibly treated as if it was, oh wow, I found some metal. I'm going to repurpose this. And they probably repurposed metal continuously for thousands of years. So, whatever tool was found, they had no idea how to use it. I mean, the Antikythera machine alone is 2,300 years old. That's from 200 BC. They probably had no idea what it was. that's why it ended up at the bottom of the sea somewhere, and that was the only one that we've ever found. But it's 2,000 years old.
And
So
we
why haven't we found
ignored
it in here?
when the ancient Greeks talked about like how about these. There's writings, there's text with these mechanisms mentioned, and they just kind of blew it off until they found one, right? And as you're saying, it's not like one guy just woke up and made it. You had to build up to that.
That takes a lot.
Yeah.
That takes a lot. We've gone through a lot of that. It takes knowledge of the skies and the movement of the constellations compared to where we are and what time of the year, and mathematics and geometry of the gears and how the gears, like the engineering of just the gear systems and how those. Yeah, there's so much into that. And like you said, that they mentioned it, which means that there was not just one.
There's multiple.
There's multiple.
Multiple.
I'm sure it was mass produced.
Every ship
It was
had one.
probably
Yes.
a thing all rich people had.
Yeah.
You know,
I love the fact that Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a status symbol.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's obviously used for something, and if it's on a ship, possibly it's something for navigation that they were using on possibly every one of the ships back then. But I was gonna say that I love that shipwreck is still being excavated. They still pulling stuff out as we speak.
I want to go down there.
Yeah, it's so cool to say. Like, who knows? We could find other artifacts in that same shipwreck.
Well, as Graham said, there is no underwater archaeology other than people looking for treasure, right? In ships, and look for treasure all day long if that's what it's doing. But there needs to be like real archaeology, and they talk about funding. Well, it's hard to get funding when you're so institutionalized and so reliant on the state or getting students in instead of like branching out into the free market of ideas and possibly finding ways to fund it. Fucking sell T-shirts, do whatever the fuck you need to do to fund archaeology, or rely on some rich guy that you can talk to. You know, you can get that middle class we were talking about, the working class in the UK, whatever. They would fund this stuff too. You like just start crowdfunding stuff. And what are these guys doing? Like Ben, they're doing tours that funds their research. They also bring people along. It helps pay for all this. It's a really smart way to do this.
Yep.
You know, and so back to the pottery. This is craftsmanship. This is artisans made this they didn't just wake up and do it. This was passed down for years, master and apprentice, you know, and it predates Egypt. These things predate Egypt. So they're found.
I think you said 15,000 years ago.
Yeah.
This is that burial site that's now underwater because the government built a dam.
Oh, yeah.
Covered it with water. Right. But in this area, they found thousands of these, along with, which is interesting, the burial sites were dated to 15,000 years ago. In those burial sites were these the technology to create these vases, insane, right? But in there are imitations. So pottery that are painted to look like granite, had the dots all over them.
Yeah.
We've seen that before in other areas, which indicates, at least to me, makes me feel like when they were buried, they're at the level of the imitation, not at the level of making these.
Yes.
So are they imitating something far older than even 15,000 years ago?
Oh, yeah, of course they are. So one thing that I've been paying close attention to is the geopolymer idea, right? And I follow somebody, his name's Marcel, and he's been attempting to recreate things from the past via geopolymer. And when I look at these vases, I see proof that it's not always gonna be able to be answered with geopolymer because of the different types of stone and plus the precision of the vase. Like if it was one homogeneous stone type, maybe you can consider it as an option, the geopolymer theory. But when you look at this and you have all the different types of stone within that marble, you can't do that with geopolymer, at least the geopolymer that he's attempting to show. You know, so I think it's disproving the geopolymer. I know that Ben's very much against it, but you look at these vases and it's just, yeah.
Like this is solid granite.
Correct. Yeah.
Like you can't. Well, I mean, you can't geopolymer other stuff until we've proven it, but to the level of solid granite.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
pretty
we know
crazy.
you have to go
geopolymer
back
was
to
used.
being able
Newman
to
talks about it, right? That he was mentioning that they were. I forget the name of the geopolymer. He had a word for it, but they were using it along the riverbanks,
Yes.
and then they found it in Göbekli Tepe also. And I didn't know about that actually until Hugh said that, which was really interesting.
And this brings up the 9,000 ton whatever 9,000 pound mammoth in the room is that we're not looking for the right things. So
Right.
if they're staying with it, if academia, which they're going to do, and they're not, I don't want to demonize all of them, but if they're staying within their parameters of civilization is only a certain age, then they're not even looking for stuff. There's stuff that they may come across that they just edit out. But the most important thing is they're just not fucking looking for it. This is what Graham's been talking about forever. Get to the Sahara, get underwater. Like once the technology gets better, which it's going to, in the next 10 years, it's going to get light years better. And they're going to be able to, the ground penetrating radar, LiDAR will get 1,000 times better. And we'll be able to find so much more, especially in the desert.
And I say that because of the research that Jimmy from Bright Insight has been exposing, that these sites are now being owned by the World Economic Forum. They're actively trying to prevent the excavations of these sites.
But think about a satellite that can just do it.
Look underground. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I'm sure they have one already, by the way. But
we're seeing a little bit of that in the jungle, like Luke Caverns is pointing out in his expeditions, and some of the things he talks about is they're able to scan certain areas, but it's extremely expensive, and time consuming. So yeah, the coming years are going to be fascinating to see that skill level and expense level start to drop, and it be easier for the individual person to go, all right, well, I'm going to save up a bunch of money, fly down to XYZ location on the earth and start just surveying for myself, making a whole database of my own scans. That'll be really, really cool to see.
So there's the one on the bottom right. There's the light.
Yep.
Inside the pot. The vase.
It's beautiful.
The vase.
That looks like the one that is
urn.
These
pretty large
printed ones are based off of. That bottom right. Now that top right.
That top right is crazy. Nobody knows what the fuck it is.
It's wild.
Wow. I found a very interesting
flywheel
theory of what that is. And
it's a taco maker.
No. It's a physical representation
taco shells
of a plasma, an interaction with plasma and something else. And there's images of this stuff happening, and it looks exactly like that. It's kind of wild. And I think it might just be a weird coincidence.
Yeah.
Because why would they make such an interesting object? Because that's stone. That's insane. That's the craziest thing. You think that it's
this,
like
maybe part of another mechanism?
Yeah. Who knows?
Or it could be their version of modern art.
Yeah.
Modern art. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible.
It seems to me it looks like a piece of another mechanism.
I agree.
It could have spun or something on a axle here.
Something metal.
Maybe. It's a very specific shape, It's I don't know.
And as Ben points out, this stuff, when we get to the bigger stuff, this all predates the wheel.
Right.
Yeah. But then there's something circular there that looks like, that it spun on something, maybe. It's
kind of.
And
I don't know about you. That certainly looks like a wheel to me.
Like a wheel, yeah.
But it all predates the wheel.
Technically, I mean, all these are wheels in some form, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oblong shape.
We got to go to the. Speaking of stuff, people not looking for stuff, Garrett, we got to go to those cart ruts in Austin, outside of Austin.
Ooh, can we go in November when I'm there?
We can go.
Yeah.
So here are the tools that they have found. All of the tools. So these tools are the tools that created all those
Problem solved.
bases,
Obviously,
all of the artifacts.
Garrett,
There it
obviously
is.
they made these with these tools. Like,
I mean, done.
what
We're
of-
done
What
here.
of it? We're done here.
We're done
There
here.
it is. Stop
They-
asking questions.
The
These-
grooves, they scratched them in.
Are these the stones that they used to drop and to quarry out all of the obelisks?
That's how
These
those
stones?
scoop marks were created because
Yeah.
of those
Just kept throwing them at the
Stones.
walls.
in the
See if I can
exact
find the
same
scoop.
spot over and over and over again.
Like the Nolan Ryan of Egypt was just fucking hurling them there all the time. There you go.
I don't know if the scoop marks are in this one.
There is
that
a
map
shot
right
of the
there.
obelisk,
Oh well, good luck.
like that the
Oh, the
unfinished.
movement of
Quickly
Earth.
scan all
I'm
2.5
trying to
hours
find
of the video.
It was like right here.
Yeah, Ben's weaponized autism is brilliant. He is the mauler. He is the mauler
of this world. Yeah.
of this sphere. He is.
wow, he found
So you
it.
see all these scoops.
Good
They're
shit,
like scoop,
Garrett.
scoop, scoop, scoop,
Look at
scoop,
that.
scoop.
Good shit. Yeah.
They think that
Garrett's
they
a
dropped
pro.
it, every once in a while it works out. They dropped those stone balls that we saw, the tool, and that's how they excavated this obelisk. is
You know
by
what
dropping-
Marcel's theory is? The guy who is obsessed with the geopolymer. He thinks that there was some sort of a bird that had a saliva
Yes.
that was
That's what the
that
concrete
broke down. Yeah. That broke down like when you mixed it with something. It was like an acid almost that would break down the stone.
yeah.
maybe, and that-
they
and that
mentioned that
when
in
it escaped-
Ancient Aliens. They did.
Interesting. What
Yeah.
did they say?
They said there
Basically
is
the same.
Ancient Aliens. Graham's talked about it. There's a bird that its spit or whatever will hollow out a stone to where it can put a nest in. Right. Like
Right.
dragon spit. That's
Like on a
awesome.
cliffside, they put a nest in. Cool.
Yeah. And I don't know what kind of bird it is, but if nature can do it, then maybe ancient man found a way to chemically make it using what they found in, say, the rainforest, which has just a lot of species of plants. You can just feel sorry for all the people who died during the trial and error, but
Somehow
humanity.
Ayahuasca was born.
I know
Yeah.
ayahuasca
Get
was
over here,
born.
Steve. Try this. Nope, didn't
There's
work.
There's a mountain
Steve's
of
dead.
there's a mountain of skulls of all the people who died.
John, come over here.
God. Jeez.
Try this.
Gain of function research.
That's funny.
There you go. So we have the unfinished obelisk, and then we have that huge statue that used to be, one was sitting down and one was standing, and these things are fucking huge. God, I can't
Yeah,
wait to
so
see these.
logistics. So this is him talking about how these giant things were brought. Leave this up. So from Aswan,
this is
which
a great
all
spot.
at the bottom here, is where the
Down here.
quarry was, right? So that's where Aswan was, and
Is
they
it-
brought
Is it
somehow.
Aswan or Aswan?
Is it at the Aswan?
I don't know
Aswan?
what it is.
Whatever. Aswan.
I don't know.
Aswan.
How
The
to pronounce
Aswan
anything.
quarry. This is where it came from, though, and somehow they got all of those giant. When I say giant, I mean like
They're
absolutely
huge.
Colossal.
amazing, colossal, pieces.
Huge.
Bigger than
Somehow brought them
houses.
all the way up there, and we can't do that today. Like the biggest
Yeah.
stone that we moved today is the Thunderstone. Actually, came from very close to where I'm at and went across the water to St. Petersburg, and it's this giant, massive stone. And when you look at it, when you see a picture of it, it's tiny. It's
Compared
like
to what these
it's
people moved,
it's
yes.
a joke. I'm like, wait, that's the Thunderstone. This like incredible. Can you pull up a picture of the Thunderstone in St. Petersburg? It is a joke when you see how small it is comparatively to these giant behemoth stones that make up, the foundations in a lot of Rome. Baalbek has a lot of them. You look at Egypt. There's just these massive stones.
the name of the
Even
stone
in
again?
Japan, the Thunderstone.
Thunderstone,
Thunderstone.
not Thunderdome. Thunderstone.
Thunderstone. St.
And then I'll show you the
It's got a
giant.
statue on the top of it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the one that they moved across Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, they dragged it across St. Petersburg, right? And didn't they carve it out? Isn't there?
Yep. Mhm.
There's also the
Artist representation of what it looked like when they moved
yeah,
it.
yeah, that's it. How far did they move it? How many miles?
I don't.
do you know?
I don't know exactly. I have to look it up again.
It took 400 men, 9 months to move the monolith to the sea. And in 1770, about 2 years after the work began, the Thunderstone reached its destination.
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll give you another one.
Yeah, there it is now. Look at
That's
that
pretty
thing.
cool looking.
It's a pretty, but like, look at that. It doesn't seem that impressive,
No.
right? Like that artist depiction, I feel is bullshit. Because look at that.
That looks way smaller than that artist depiction. Unless they
doesn't
really
look
cut that sucker down.
I mean, yeah, probably.
All right, go to LA's latest art attraction here. Oh, wait, that link is dead. Great. That big rock that they took to the to LA, 340-ton boulder. Here we go. I got it.
Oh yeah,
Here
right. I
we
heard about
go.
this.
There we go. Yeah. So artists' massive 340-ton boulder making its way to the LA Art Museum. Now, I don't think the artist did anything to this boulder other than found a way
Move
to
it.
transport it and move it.
That is an art in and
art.
of itself.
Scroll up a little bit. This is on a giant fucking like apparatus that they had to move 105 miles from
It's on
I
your
guess,
computer.
It's your screen, Gary.
and I knew that.
Go ahead. Hey, go ahead and scroll
up a little bit.
Scroll a little bit there.
There you go. That I scrolled. So there you go. This thing is huge though. It's effing huge. Let's see if there's any. So that's where they got the rock from. That's it.
That doesn't look. I mean, that's a pretty big rock.
And
I got a few of those in my forest actually.
here's a
You
video.
move them there?
Glacier did.
This is them transporting it.
That's wild.
You know, sometimes you go, why do we do things? You know, the things that we do. Because they are hot.
So it's going fast enough where dudes can walk next to it. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
And this is nothing compared to what the Egyptians moved.
And we have wheels. They
That's
didn't.
insane. So to take that, imagine that. And
Yes,
then
Dan, I do.
think about
How much does
the
that guy get
massive
paid?
amount of granite that they moved.
Yeah.
Oh, they
all
wrapped
the
it
way
too.
from Aswan up the Nile, which runs north-south.
Why did they wrap it?
I don't know.
I don't think
Protecting that rock.
to protect the rock
rock
from
is
what?
protected.
What the fuck?
It's
Wrap it
part of
for?
the
You know,
art
the
piece,
weather.
Gary. Gosh.
What, homeboy's job.
Scratches.
There's a homeboy's getting paid $30 an hour to have a smoke and walk next to this rock. I love it.
It's a good job.
That's a good job.
Pretty good job.
Having a nice little stroll. That's great.
So there is one depiction in the hieroglyphs that show a statue that was being brought. And by the way, the statue is not one of the giant ones. It is a big statue, but not one of the giant ones. And it shows them pouring water in front of it. So you could see that that could have been a way that they did it, you know, but when you look at the statue that they actually used, or they brought, or supposedly it's the statue that is depicted in this hieroglyphic imagery, it's nothing compared to these giant stones. So people are just assuming, they're like, oh, well, this must be how they did it then. Oh yeah, they just poured water in front, put them up on wood slats and drag them over the ground. It's like, okay, it might have worked.
Go back to looking at the map.
It might have worked.
The map.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
12 hours in a car.
In a car.
Yeah,
Up hills.
over. Yeah,
How
on a
many
road.
kilometers is that?
Against the river.
Who cares what's a
Oh,
kilometer?
1,000 kilometers. Holy crap. Shush you.
It's 1,000.
600 miles, basically.
Yeah. It's a
And I
long
think-
ass way, okay? It's a long way.
Yeah.
So it had to be like, Gary, you know, your phrase, because it's easy.
Because it's easy.
That is like the only explanation, because it's so phenomenally hard, like
Yeah.
insanely difficult to think.
No, it's impossible. We
Like,
literally
impossible.
cannot
Like,
do
how-
it. We can't do it right now. We can't.
How did they
can't.
do it? Even if they had, I mean, just vast amount of time. Even then, it seems so ridiculous to, like, what are you moving it like 10 feet a year?
Well, there's also
Are you just, is it like part of your entire culture to be like, we moved this one rock
maybe
this decade 10 feet?
not
and then
because
our
it's-
children's children.
Not because it's easy, because it's hard.
Because it's hard.
Yes.
And in the future, there will be monuments made. But that's like 10
there was
generations down.
There was Roman cranes that were able to lift stones, but he talks about how many of those you would need to lift one. He picked one of the stones, not the biggest stones, just like an average behemoth of a stone, and it would take like 250 of these cranes. And then he showed a picture of how big the cranes were, and it was massive. It's like you wouldn't be able to fit, let alone move them. All it did was lift it up.
That's why they don't like you to ask questions, because just the mere asking of that question opens up the Pandora's box of just what it makes you look stupid if you're an Egyptologist, if you have a massive museum and you're like, well, they moved it.
Mm-hmm.
They splashed some water, and that's how they did it.
Obviously,
because if it was anything else,
slaves. Hello,
we look ridiculous.
It's like,
that's a lot of
insane.
That's a lot of slaves, and you still got to feed slaves.
You got to feed them. It's a calorie cost.
Loincloths, and how healthy were they? You know, that's a lot of slaves. Just saying.
Yeah, that's not it. They did it somehow because it was easy, like you said.
Yep.
I fully believe it. We just do not understand or know how they did it. Maybe it had something to do with vibrations, frequency, floating it. I don't know. Who knows?
Magic. Who knows?
Well, everything's magic when we don't understand it, right?
Yep.
That's how it goes. So, yeah. Well, my favorite thing out of this entire documentary, though, that he talks about is the drill course. I love it because I'm a tool guy. I loved his more towards like the 2/3 of the way through. If you want to, I actually put a bunch of stuff on there. But Petrie's course 7 is this guy Petrie 100 and I don't even know how long ago he was trying to do this
19th century, I think.
19th century, right? And he's doing these tests, and he's like, "Oh, it's a spiral groove. These are spirals." Proving like it something drilled its way in to remove it, and everyone, the entire archaeological, I don't know, train was against him. They hated him. They're like, no, you're totally wrong. Like, and he just did all these testings. He made like silicone copies of it and opened it up, and you could see, and there were so many different proof. Like he wrapped a string around it, and it was very clear that it would spiral. So it's on the right here. This is the Petrie's core number 7, and it's very obviously a spiral groove. And when you think about what a spiral groove means, especially at the distance of the grooves, because if these grooves are accurate to the tool that bore them, that would mean that it would have to go in at a pretty significant, it's not slow at all. It's pretty fast. Like those grooves go in quickly. And he was saying, he goes into much more details as part of the math behind it, but to actually have that amount of pressure to push a drill bit or something in would be a couple ton amount of weight behind it. You really got to like bore in with it, and that would crush any type of metal that we assume they had. Copper tools, there's no way that it can actually support that much weight as they bore into it. Yeah, here's him. I think this is them recreating. Yeah, Chris Dunn, Malcolm McClure, they were recreating the test that Petrie did, and it really shows the spiral groove, which they hear spiral groove and they just instantly want to say no, that can't be it, because they can't explain it, because it would require some sort of tool that would be able to make that amount of drill with the spiral grooves actually show. Here's the latex mold that they cut in half. and then you can actually they make this measurement. Right here, exactly. So this shows that it is a spiral. I mean, they were just trying to prove in many different ways. And it's like, I don't know how many different ways they have to prove that it's a spiral groove, but it's a spiral groove. And the fact that it's a spiral groove is crazy because this is how they told us they did it, right? This right here does not create spiral grooves. In fact, it barely creates grooves because it's going down in the exact same spot. Right.
It's going up and down, up and down, up and down.
Right. So it's grinding it smooth as it goes down very, very slowly. So these spiral grooves proves that it was fast and it was incredibly hard. And then not only that, there's all these different examples of how thin the tool was, because we could compare some of these drill spots still have the core in. The core has to be broken out. And you can see how thin. Oh, here we go. Perfect.
Right
on
here.
the left here. Yeah. No, well, on the left side,
this
though, you
one
can see.
and this one.
Yeah,
oh,
right
perfectly,
there.
right there.
Yeah.
Just
So you can see the bit that they used is rather thin. It's very thin, right? So to be able to have that much pressure and be that thin, I mean, I don't even know if we have anything today. A diamond tip, like, who knows?
And then how do they break these off? Because They found the cores. They found the cores that they kind of throw them away, and that's where they got all that study before, is because they have this core that's in the middle. How do you break that out as a single piece?
Yep, exactly. Like maybe that's why they do the smaller core in the middle.
And then they take a big rod and snap it.
Yeah, get
maybe?
like a more leverage, but
leverage thing.
Even still.
Yeah,
I think these are the most intriguing things to me, because of there's tool marks. They're very clear. Like that left side, look at that. That you can't do. This one's huge, by the way. This one on the left, he says this is the largest drill hole that he's ever found. Now, of course, it's 30 feet up in the ceiling, so you can't really get close to compare it. Now, this one's
this one was really cool because it really shows you their methodology, how they use the process. They drill to get these negative spaces, and then
humans
they file
do this
off the
today.
edges. Yeah, we do this today in sculpture.
Yep.
You can't see how small this is, though, unfortunately. But this is very small.
Look, I can't remember.
Okay.
You see,
half an inch in diameter. Yep. There you go.
Half an inch.
Does he show? Now Christopher Dunn has shown this in his. I can't remember if he shows the saw marks or not. What look like freaking saw marks?
Saw marks.
Saw marks.
He does.
Yes.
He does show them. Yeah,
he does. Okay. Yeah. So there's like, and there's one that looks like the saw kind of went off a little bit, and that's why they never finished the stone. Yeah, it's crazy. But there is like straight up. It looks like somebody sawed into the stone, and there's saw marks in it. It's all over.
Yep.
It's all over Giza. So
look at those drill marks on the right.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Just
so you can see where they started. You know, when you have a circular saw, you start a cut. It doesn't cut just a straight line. It cuts a little bit of a indentation in, and then it starts going in. And you can see how these cuts are exactly like that. Yep. So it definitely seems like they had some kind of circular saw. That drill bit is also, I mean, we use the same kind of thing when we're trying to cut larger holes with the drill bit now, right? You have like a wood cutting drill bit. It's a circular drill bit. It's very thin, almost about the same width as that right there.
It's true.
Not this one, but the one that cuts before. Just examples of graffiti.
Yeah, this is where he talks about how
this one's ridiculous.
You know, these amazing pieces were found, and the precision that they had, and then suddenly like across the chest, it's just like some king, and it's like, or like right here on the left, you know, it's just that
over
was definitely chiseled. That
detail.
Was definitely chiseled in, and someone's like, "This is mine now. I made this," and that's what the archaeologists are going. Yep, look, it's proof. See. This
like
is
you have
this is this king's name.
Granite,
we have a date.
Ox.
They
That's
call it a
tons and
sarcophagus,
tons.
but that's bullshit because they
They've
never found any
anything in it.
body in
No
it.
bodies,
They-
yeah.
it was always empty, and they're
And then these
giant.
super shallow, fucking all
Non-straight
over the place
lines.
and non-straight. Like, come on.
Right, exactly.
clearly
Non-straight
graffiti.
lines. Yeah, exactly. It's trying to prove that it was theirs. Sure.
Okay.
This was cool part 2 when he starts to talk about the different layers of
Yeah. This is
the
Assyrian,
Giza
I
Plateau
think.
and in different aspects of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Like, it's
actually
all of it's built on
a
top.
pillar base on the left that they found much deeper. So it's like, okay, well, obviously there used to be a pillar here that's older than the newer area that is on
Yep.
top of it. So it proves that this area is older than they even say that it is. So cool.
This is a cool part as well. He talks about the two different on the same.
Yeah. Now he asks you, which one's older? Which one do you think looks older?
Same stone,
Well, the
same
one on the left
elevation.
because it looks so more worn down, but it's not.
Right. Well, they say it's not. They're like,
say
no, the one on the right is older, actually. It's like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? He's kind of laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Are they on different
okay, gotcha.
elevations?
Use your eyes.
Same. They're on the
Use
same
your
elevation.
eyes.
Are they made out of different types of material? Nope, same exact
material. That's
material.
wild.
Okay.
Same exact. Yeah. That's
In fact, these were covered. He pointed out that these were covered in a different material to keep them longer, preserved, and these were uncovered supposedly the whole time, same amount of time.
Wow.
Weird.
Like that is very weird. Like, why are these so much more
eroded,
they came out at the same time,
destroyed,
made at the same time
by
It
time.
is just like our technology today. Cars back in the day were better than cars built today.
It's true.
Stronger. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we don't
Maybe not as
build
You don't
things
care about
to
gas
last.
mileage, but
We
Yeah.
don't build things to last anymore. We build things to
Mhm.
continue selling them over and over again, which I think is
Quality.
the worst thing that humans have ever done. I mean, there's plenty of bad things they've done, but I think for the longevity of what we should be working on is making things to last forever and getting better and better and better at that. But it's like counterintuitive with the capitalistic system that has risen us all out of poverty. So it's kind of like a catch-22, like, and which I don't know, it's tough, because this is
You're weighing
clear.
quality and quantity at that rate.
Right.
Yeah.
You can see when it goes from quality. Look at those feet. Like, that's incredibly done. And you know what? They're probably perfectly symmetrical. He shows a knee and he's like, look at this knee. It's beautiful. And it really is just like this incredibly precision made knee out of granite.
You could see
It was way earlier.
indentation of where the drilled out the area. What he was showing.
Yeah.
that's
Showing
crazy.
some of the, like in the armpits, you can also see circular indentations of where the drills drilled in to make that void, and then they clear it out and make it more precise for the sculpture. But you can still see some locations where it shows.
I'm not a foot guy. I'm just saying, like,
That's a beautiful foot right there. What's wrong
I
with
mean, right?
a beautifully carved foot?
Yeah.
Tarantino's like, damn, that's a good foot.
Yeah.
He's like,
Josh
I'm gonna
Whedon,
cast myself in
Tarantino.
this movie.
Yes.
Here's an example of modern day repairs on this statue where they're trying to
Yeah.
make it look like granite. It's like
They're
those polka
painting it.
dot, and it
It's
looks
painted.
exactly like the imitation pottery trying to look like granite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Egypt is a very, very wild place, and I
can't wait
hope
to
it
go.
gets. I hope it becomes more free to study and not as
I think it's getting there.
overbearing.
Ben was talking about it's getting there because
I
they're
love
making a
that.
lot of money off tourists, a lot of money off tourism.
So they want to keep it safe.
Yeah.
As possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of the most gone over places on earth, and they're still finding stuff.
And it's still
Right.
a mystery.
Some more holes.
So cool though.
love that.
Yeah, look at that. The one on the right. Look at all those grooves.
It's so obvious to me.
Think about the bit. How far down? That's a long ass bit.
Yeah, it is.
We should get that drill bit for Skinwalker Ranch.
Well, I mean, the drill bit, they could go in like a foot, break it off, go in another foot, break it off. You know, the bit itself doesn't have to be that long, you know, but they would have to have some sort of drill that can make, you know. So we don't know exactly how long. It could have been really short. They could have just done in 1-inch segments,
increments,
you know, drill an inch.
Yeah.
But then we see those long cores, though. We see those cores that are really long.
Well, it's not just that; it's the continued spiral that's on the inside, right?
It's unbroken.
Because if you went down and then you would disconnect that spiral every time, unless it is so precise that you could reconnect with that exact
when
position.
It was the last one.
That wouldn't be surprising. That
in and of itself, a wild
could happen with their technology at this rate.
Yeah, right.
Some more examples.
I think that's the armpit on the right, or in the middle.
Here.
No, this is all that. Yeah,
armpits. Yeah.
Yeah.
They used whatever that tool is. This looks like a different size, so they had different sizes of that technology. Whatever that drill bit is, all kinds of different radiuses that they need.
So incredible.
Very cool.
Very, very cool place. I'd love to go there, man.
I want to see these in person one day.
We will someday, but we'll be in Peru first.
Yes.
That's going to be wild. That's going to be, I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, I keep seeing updates in the behind the scenes, and I'm just like, just take me out of there so I don't have to see that anymore.
Oh, go back to Bar where he shows the bar.
I already had it ready.
You had it ready?
Oh, yeah.
I am.
All right, I just want to show. I find something. You got to look at it from the top. I don't know if you get a top angle, but
you could see it on the bottom right.
You could see it. So I'll do more research on this because I found something that does exactly match it. But I got to go back and look because I think I saw it in one of Luke's videos, either Luke or Randall. I can't remember which. I've seen so much shit. But you see this cave. See the shape. So imagine you're looking at the top and at the shape, and there's a circle, and then there's a line that goes to a turn off the closed captions. All right. So this is there's one that's got a pathway. Okay. So there's one that's got a circle. This isn't the exact one, but you'll get it. All right. So if you look at from the top, it's a circle line that goes to a rectangle. And I'm like, man, that looks familiar. That looks familiar. And it looks like all of the they're not geoglyphs, but all of the henges that they're finding in South America. It looks like before they were completely destroyed here, like places like Poverty Point. There was just these giant earthen structures that were done with patterns, basically with shapes.
Just like keyhole eye exclamation point kind of.
So here's an example. It's a bad example, but here's an example of something I kind of here. I'll share the screen. So I've seen them that have the circle and the line that go to the rectangle that are the exact same shape as that fucking cave. The exact same shape. Here's another one. Hang on. So what we try to look for here is commonality in patterns, right? There's that too. So we have circle going into a larger room. I see this a lot.
It does look like there's like a square in there as well.
A lot. And there's ones that look exactly like those fucking caves. Exactly like. And they're all prehistory. And they were obviously obsessed with shapes. And some of them were like, that was a little rough, but some of them are perfect. And they're aligned. They're aligned to the stars. And there had no math back then.
All right. No, this is crazy because I was clicking through the Randall Carlson interview where he's talking about the moon.
Yep.
Maybe completely. We're just connecting dots here. Okay. Shapes, pattern recognition. Take a look at this.
Yes. Exactly.
Weird.
I just clicked into the into his stream, and that's what was on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this is or what it's saying.
But it's
It
very
looks
similar to the shape of the Bar caves, and I'm telling you, I've seen ones that look exactly like it. Like exactly like it. And it's part of the sacred geometry. Sacred geometry. But yeah. Isn't that weird? Pattern recognition.
Awesome. In Japan, there's like a temple there. We were just talking about it. The keyholes, yeah.
They're supposedly the Japanese government calls them tombs. Yeah, it's when Hugh Newman was on the show, we were talking about it. I brought him up because I wanted to hear what Hugh had to say about
similar
them.
shape.
They're all over Japan, and they look like keyholes, but really it's a circle with, like a just like you would imagine a keyhole, but they all have a circle at the top, and then come down in like more of a triangular, boxy shape. Also very similar though. Yeah.
Yep.
Japanese version of it.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, and it's all over the country. It's not an island like you said. They're like inland. But there was a moat around one.
Yeah, that one
in the picture. Yeah. But there's a lot of them that are like they're all across the land.
Just built in the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's get to some
Very
soup.
Interesting.
We still have to make some up. We're going to do that next week when I'm not on unfortunately, I'm on a time limit tonight because of hot D.
The finale.
I'm so excited for hot D.
When does it come out? When does it air?
It airs in less than an hour. 52 minutes. 51 minutes.
Good. So good.
Some of it's already leaked. I didn't look at any of it. Plus, I've read the book.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to see it. I saw the leaks float.
Although they are changing a lot from the book. The order of things, basically.
Okay.
I will just tell people,
for me, though, so
do not name your children after Rhaenyra. Do not do it. So we're gonna get soups, but thanks, Rumble. Thanks, Rumble. And our ad reads return next week. Earbuds that I have been using all week.
I need some new ones.
Yeah. Well, you know what they're perfect for? When you're listening to a David Hatcher Childress book or a Graham Hancock book, and while you go to sleep, you just pop in your little earbuds, because I have my Bose big ones for like the gym and other stuff, but you can't sleep with those things on. They're perfect for that. Perfect for mucking around the house listening to Audible, which I would totally sponsor Audible. I would shill for Audible. I use the hell out of that app.
Audible.
Yep. Sup Audible. Neil Horn for $20 says, "Hail Gary, hail 3/4 white. Wait.
People.
And hail XRG. And soon to be Papa Krigler. Oh, yeah. I'm going to little pause.
Real soon.
Very soon.
Any day now.
It could be literally like right now. I could.
Oh, really?
I could.
Dude,
yeah,
no.
That close.
No, time has not flown that much.
It really has. Yeah. He's fully cooked.
Yeah.
He's fully cooked.
Just chilling, waiting to come out.
We could get like you looking at the phone and just bolting, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I could be like, I have to go, like, and boom,
Hopefully it's in
the
middle of the day for you and not like at 3 or 4 in the morning for me.
Oh God, every baby
Is that what happened?
Was born in the morning.
I had it all.
I was born at like 1 a.m. or something.
Dude, it was perfect. It was perfect because we were in San Francisco and there was no traffic. So
nice.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There's
no
go.
traffic.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
Could share a birthday with Gary. Who knows?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if they want to wait that long.
When's your birthday?
18th.
16th is the due date.
Hold out for the 18th, baby
Right
boy.
there.
Then you got to name it after me. Boy or girl, don't care.
Well, baby Gary.
Nerdrotic.
There you go. There you go. Let's not talk about my birthday anymore, okay?
Sorry.
Talk about it.
He turns 2,800 this year.
1,800. And I've been lying about my age for 1,000 years.
Like it was
I was
just
there.
yesterday.
Gandalf, I was there 3,000 years ago. I think your pal Grayson is a government psyop. He was activated because Forbidden Frontier is revealing too much truth. That's it. Grayson.
Must be it.
Oh, I already forgot about that guy.
Who's
Yeah.
great?
Grayson's
He's
the one
burned out. Twitter.
Made a
Well, that
thread
guy,
about
that
me.
guy, yeah.
Grayson made a thread about me, and as Drama Alert posted, which is so fucking funny that I made Drama Alert, and it was trending because of this. So
Yeah.
thank you, Grayson. Yeah, it blamed me for everything. Said I was a January 6th.
Yeah, wasn't suspicious at all. It had an account that had less than 1,000 subscribers to it. Instantly, 5,000 likes on the tweet
Did you
before
see
I
the
even saw
impressions?
it.
I think it got
Impressions insane.
I got to millions.
Wow.
Somebody buying likes. Somebody buying likes. Grayson. I'm not gonna pointing fingers. I'm just asking questions.
Alls I know is our boy Jeremy's probably going to get 100,000 view video out of it. So
Yeah.
congrats, Jeremy. I got some subs. I was trending on Twitter for the first time ever. Got Drama Alert. So thank you. My real quick on that. My favorite part, it's not really my favorite part, that's sarcasm, is when it's way down the line on this thread. And it's really obvious that something was weird about the thread, because if you go down, the likes almost disappear. Where he calls everybody who watches our stuff basically idiots. It's,
Of course.
yes.
I would say
So he's all, you guys are, and your stupid audience is fucking up our movie space. It's
Our
that's
vibes.
our vibes. Yeah, that's a mistake. All these
Oh my
fucking
God.
retards, and you're a retard, Grayson, for even saying that. It's when you start going to blame people who just watch stuff, okay, who might follow you on Twitter or watch John Campia too. It's just regular people. So I'm not fucking up the movie space. They're not fucking up the movie space. Hollywood is fucking up the movie space. And fans and customers are doing what they've always done since this shit was invented. Complain about stuff they don't like. And isn't it weird when you give an audience what they want? It does really well. And you never hear anything about that. I liked Deadpool and Wolverine. A lot of people did. It's going to hit $1 billion like really fucking soon. It's not even that great of a movie, but you gave people what they wanted and they had fun, which is kind of the most important part of a superhero movie. And look at that. So he's
But where
protected.
were you on Jan 6? That's my question.
Well, which
Gary,
Jan 6?
Your
Which
whereabouts
Jan
are
6?
unknown.
He didn't state what year. So if it was post 2021, I was decorating my January 6th tree. Okay. That's what I was fucking doing.
Just don't ask me where I was.
Yeah.
Play patriotic music.
Yeah. The UK hate me and my disposable income. My collectibles, I either love or become an investment. Yes. A lot of my collectibles are investments. And I've been able to rationalize that to my wife for many years now.
It still works.
It works. But they are. They're
Yeah.
tangible investments.
Good
And
point.
I'm really glad none of that money's in the stock market right now. Saying.
Great
Just saying.
point.
Yes.
Just saying. Zorbu has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships for $25. Thank you, Zorbu.
Thank you, sir.
Rich Uncle Cheapskate on the Streamlab side for 50. Hey. Here's some seed money for Peru trip. I suggest you buy oxygen tanks. They're going to get us ready.
We're gonna do exercises, I think, to help do that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Have you not been exercising, guys?
I've
Yeah.
been
Oh, yeah.
exercising. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Stair
got
climbers. You need to-
Strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
But it's
my
not
God.
just that. There's there's breathing exercises you can do the week of, like leading up to, that'll
But
help.
we're
you
also going to get some leaf we can
acclimate.
eat or some shit that we're going to have. Or
They have leaf?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
cocoa
We'll
try the
leaves.
There's
or
cocoa
something like
leaf.
that.
What do you mean leave? Going to South America and you're gonna eat
Yeah.
some leaves.
Yeah, there's some shit that we're supposed to eat that keeps us from getting altitude sickness, and I'm going to
Really?
eat it. Yeah, because I get
Do
altitude
you
sickness.
brew
I've
it
gotten
with a root also, or no?
I'm not
Different-
doing that. X-Ray Girl
Oh.
and Melissa and Garrett cannot do that shit. That's fine. I'm not doing it.
Maybe I'll babysit Garrett. Make sure
Yeah,
he
there you
doesn't do
go.
anything
There you
silly.
Oh,
Sure don't fall off.
Oh, they can go do it. I ain't driving them home. I ain't taking care of them. None of that shit. They're on their own.
He's like, I'm
We'll
on
be with an
vacation,
adult.
baby.
Mel is an adult. Okay.
They're all adults. Zorbu on the Streamlab side for $25. Hail, Earthlings. Anyone else sending donations from the crapper? Just me. What's weird is I don't remember eating corn. Wow, Zorbu.
Thanks for that information.
Oh, there's more. I was just for $25, Zorbu. I was just informed you recommended a COVID test because of our past experiments with quarter earthling. Frankly, I am much more concerned that he can spell gonorrhea and syphilis without using a spell check, if you know what I mean.
This is a pure body, okay? It's clean and pure, like a lamb.
That means he can't, and that's good. Good for you, Garrett.
You can't.
A lamb he can
spell
probe.
anything.
A lamb led to probe.
Garrett had Joe Exotic on his show last week.
did.
That
Yeah,
was
he
awesome.
So cool.
That was cool, dude.
From
He
prison.
Called in from prison, dude.
Called collect from prison.
He even
Really
called
great.
early. He was like, "Hey man, I just want to make sure this is a good time. We could call." I was like, "Yep, still good."
Oh.
Hey, give me a platform.
Yeah,
Every
thank you
so
so much.
often, it would cut to just be like, "This is a prison."
Yeah.
And then like,
This call is coming from prison.
yeah, it's like what?
Just in case you forgot.
Yeah, so
It was like, if you could see the line waiting up, it's a mile long.
yeah,
Is it for you?
God. That was cool.
Billy Gibbons on the Streamlabs side, 2 parts for $20, says, let's go out to Egypt because it's in the plan. Sleep beside the pharaohs in the shifting sand. We'll look at some pyramids and check out some heads. Oh, we'll whip out our mattress because there ain't no beds. Slip inside my sleeping bag. Slip inside my sleeping bag. That's a song.
Am I missing the song
Okay.
referencing?
I don't
I
know.
don't know what it is. That's cool.
I
I don't know most things though, to be fair.
That's cool.
Easy Top.
Easy Top.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
You're
I
from
don't know,
Texas.
I
You're
don't
You're
know,
from
man.
Texas.
Just a shame. I gotta go. Guys.
Yeah. Zorbu on the Streamlabs side for $20. If humans think we are a threat to Earth, I need only remind you that Dave Matthews Band will be inducted into your so-called Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year.
Oh, wow.
What?
You
Really?
did this to yourselves, humanity. You did
Rock
this
and
to
roll?
yourselves. Dave Matthews Band sucks. Always have sucked. And then they
I like Dave Matthews.
fucking
I'm
shit. And then they poured their shit from their motorhome on some poor people on a fucking boat.
Oh, that's
that-
messed up.
Did they
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
did
did.
do that.
Yes, they did.
That's fucked up.
It crashed into them.
Yeah, that
That's good.
folky alternative
That's
shit.
good. I
Not
appreciate it.
not the Black Crows. What are the guy?
The Crows. The
No,
Counting
the
Crows.
Keys?
Counting Crows.
Counting
Counting
Crows.
Crows. Dave Matthews Band all fucking sucked. Couldn't stand them.
That's like quintessential 90s right there.
No, it's not. It's quintessential
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, Counting Crows.
Soundgarden is quintessential 90s.
Oh, that
I
too.
mean,
Soundgarden.
I put it all in the same.
Smashing
Nah.
Pumpkins.
Smashing
Now,
Pumpkins. Oh,
like,
yeah.
we
You
can
also
talk
said
about those are two
Stargate
good
was a
bands.
bad movie, so I mean,
It
you
is.
know,
Flaming-
I take your
flaming-
opinion with a grain
You
of
like
salt.
trans men.
What?
That's
You mean
Jay
women?
Davidson.
Only like right too.
You
Jay
you mean
Davidson.
women?
You like dudes with dresses on.
That's a dude. He's a dude.
He said you like trans men, and it's like that's women.
Well, he's
Wait, that is
trans, but
women.
he's still a man.
Wait, are you talking about the alien in that movie?
Jay Davidson, yes.
Oh, I don't
Crying
even
Game.
know who the actor is.
I don't even think he dresses that way anymore, to be honest with you.
Oh, you mean the prince from Stargate?
Well, not the prince. He's the god. He is.
Prince
What
God
god was?
thing?
What god was he? What god was he in that movie?
I like Counting Crows.
Alice in
Ra.
Chains is better than Nirvana. You're right, chat. You're absolutely
Alice in
right.
Chains.
This
Alice
is
in
correct.
Chains
This
is
is
fucking
correct.
great.
I do love both of them, but you
What was the
Alice
name?
in Chains.
It wasn't. What was the? It was a god. It was the name of a god. It was Ra. Thank you. Die. I should.
said Ra.
That's what happens when you get old.
You couldn't think of Ra?
I said Ra.
Adam.
Wow.
How old are you?
That's a sun god.
Wow.
Right?
I'm
How old are
40.
you? Okay.
40.
Give
Uh-huh.
it 15 years. You're gonna
15
forget your
years.
kid's name. You're gonna be looking at your dog, going, "Dog."
Come here, you. My grandmother has not well, she is no longer with us, but she had 10 kids, and I have 8 uncles, and I remember hearing stories about how she couldn't remember anyone's name, so everyone just became George. Everyone, George. And
Yeah.
she'd be looking at you.
That's
and like,
hilarious.
I've been called George because like she has
That's what
you know,
my
like
dad. That's
50,
so weird.
70
You.
grandkids.
My dad
George,
did that.
George,
My-
everyone would look. Is she talking to
Just
me?
in case.
No. Woo.
Okay, so my dad did that. Like for people he didn't know the name of, for like
Yeah.
when he'd see a squirrel, when he'd see another dog, everybody's name was George.
Really,
That's weird.
George too.
Yeah.
The
Everybody's
same?
name was
Huh.
George.
That's so
What's up
random.
with George? What's up with
Yeah.
that?
The era, that age bracket,
Maybe.
the common
Yeah, it
name.
must
My
be.
old Pappy. My old Pappy. I miss my Pappy. Josh Kelsey drops $20 and walks away because that's what he does.
What he does.
That's what he does. Josh, thank you, Josh. Bubba Doom won for $2. Quarterback Garrett, no truck stop vitamins. Oh, they
Is
say
that for
you
you,
took
the
speed.
penis
That
vitamins?
Is that a? Does that mean something?
Truck
Yeah, I don't
stop
know what the-
vitamins are fucking speed. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't do that.
Wait.
Quantum
Okay.
Would help,
Sledgehammer, a rant for $10. Why is that when I think about out of place or out of time artifacts, I'm always reminded of teenage me trying to explain to my technologically challenged mother how to program a VCR. That same thing. And they figured it out as soon as they replaced them with DVD players.
Yeah.
Eric John Pizza Art, a Rumble rant for $5. Best show on Rumble. Hail. Thank you.
Damn.
And thanks to Rumble. Thanks to Claudio. Good
I
dude.
love Rumble.
I love Rumble. Eric K for $2. X-ray girl likes boobs, but who doesn't? Even
No one.
as. Yeah. Everybody likes boobs.
He
There's nothing wrong with
really
liking
likes boobs.
Boobs,
I
boobs are
mean,
great.
He does. John Cannon for €10. In the UK, the majority of the country is working class, around 85%. To compare to think of UK working class as the same as blue collar in the US. Yes, and blue collar
Okay,
in the
so it's the
US is
same.
like a lower middle class.
I don't know. Now they're making bank, dude.
Well,
Blue
yeah.
collar makes a lot of money, actually.
Yeah.
So okay, some
They
for like
do,
say
like,
factory worker and stuff.
Roofing.
But yeah, if
Plumbing,
you are blue collar in the sense of
electrician,
you're an air conditioning repairman, you are a car tech, and you're good, you're doing good.
True.
You're making a lot of
Facts.
money.
And
There-
that shit's not getting taken over by AI.
in
I
San
get it, at
Francisco,
least.
okay, in San Francisco, and this was in 2016. And granted, the money doesn't go as far there as it would here, but relatively, a good tech. We had a master tech, and like 3 or 4, like a lot of the techs were scrubs, but 3 or 4 of them were fucking master techs, like top tier, and they were easily making well over $150,000 a year minimum.
Wow.
That's good.
Yep.
Good money.
Well,
Work with your
labor
hands.
per hour. God, I'm trying to remember. It's like $115 an hour.
What?
So your billing hours, and they're billable hours. So which people argue with is like, hey, this job is going to take this huge job you gave me is going to take 8 hours, but they get it done in 4. And then people would argue, and then you have to go, no, this is billable hours. It's different. It's like this is a job that on average that they've averaged out takes 8 hours, but this guy's so fucking good now, he can get it done in 4, but he still gets paid for 8 because he's so fucking good. That's,
Working
I'd say
smarter.
gal, but there wasn't that many.
This reminds me of that song. It costs so much because it takes me fucking
Mhm.
hours. Fucking hours.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, was that artist? Was that an artist?
I don't know. It's a good song. It's catchy.
With the artist.
Peppy Payne, $5 for rent. But thank you though. Thank you, John,
What's up,
for
Pepe?
explaining that. Thank you.
They're fine.
I feel we have reached the point of this reality where unless you've experienced something firsthand, there will always be doubts of its authenticity. Life equals personality, lived experience. You're absolutely correct. And we're
100%.
we're now seeing a generation, let's just keep it in the arts, a generation of writers and commentators and all kinds of who've grown up with the internet now and knew nothing else but the internet. And that's their life experience, is just other people's experiences.
So true and sad.
Feedback.
It's sad. I am so fucking grateful I grew up without it.
Me too.
Yeah, it really gives you a perspective on it, where it places itself in your life.
And I'm about to have a kid, and I'm like, it's so
Yeah.
real to me, the reality that I see existing for kids that have only known this, that were raised with an iPad by people on YouTube. You know, I'm like, I will never have that. That is never going to be the case for my children, ever. I have a forest right next to me. Here's a stick. Go make a
Yeah.
fort. You pick a spot.
Use your
I'll help you build it.
imagination.
I can't
As-
wait to build forests in my forest.
Hell
That'd
yeah.
be awesome.
As his
Gonna be
wonky
dope.
eyebrow for €2 says, Gary is under attack. I'm sure he is fine. Hale, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. It's no big deal. This is actually like, it's becoming an old hat now. It's just weird that, but it didn't affect. I didn't get a single email on it.
We caught
On
it way. No, we caught it early, and
Yeah.
we were both like, "Meh."
It's the same
Like,
thing
it's old
over
shit.
and
It's
over.
like, give me
again.
us some
the
new shit.
same thing.
Like they
I'm
talked a little bit
surprised it
about
went
the
so far.
Batman, but I'll stand behind all of my Batman. Like that's the other one that kind of got drowned out by the guy's thread was me bringing up fat, girl penguin Oswalda, and then the three fat diverse lesbians sitting at a table, and then Renee Montoya. Sorry, I was blanking because I don't give a fuck about Renee Montoya. Okay, nobody does. Nobody. Don't stop pretending. Renee Montoya hasn't sold a single fucking comic book ever. She sold. She had the question. It fucking got canceled. Okay, nobody cared. She was just lesbian Montoya. But before that, she was just a side character in Batman. But
There's another one of the cops.
Yep. Nobody gives a shit about that character. Yeah, they had to give her a hand-me-down superhero, and it didn't work. It was fucking stupid then. And by the way, said it was stupid in my comic store. When people go, "What do you think of this question comic?" I think it's retarded because I like the question. So like,
Yeah.
you know,
Why do you just hate shit? Why do you just have so much hate in your heart?
mhm, so much. Oh, but they were kissing, all right. And I'm like, yeah, I know she's a fucking lesbian. I've sold comics. I've known that forever. It's still, this is a Batman show. This is Batman the animated series. You're trying to have mass appeal, it's not a comic where you can actually be specific in a comic and it could sell 30,000 copies and it'd be fine. Whatever. Who cares? I wouldn't read it. I wouldn't care, but it works more in comic books than it does in a TV show that's supposed to have broad appeal. And what they're trying to do is push an agenda. And if anybody comes out and tries to defend this shit, who was, I don't know, in our sphere at any point and think they're telling the fucking truth when they used to, I don't know, call out this shit in comic books, but now it's okay because I don't know, I don't like it or somebody else doesn't like it. Like, check yourself. Be real. Just be honest. That's all. I'm being very honest.
Check your privilege.
It was fucking cringe. It was written terribly. The designs are mid at best. Batman's fine. Catwoman's fine. Everybody else is boring. The movement of the characters is unnatural and jerky, where it almost looks like it's dropping frames, which it very well could have been because it's on a streaming service. But there's no fluidity to it at all. And people go, well, Batman the animated series, it was fucking done 30 fucking years ago. And it's genius, by the way. Don't even fucking put them in the same realm. And I don't care. Yeah, Bruce Timm came back. So fucking what?
Not the same.
I already said Robert Downey Jr., but he did come back too.
He did come back.
Russell T. Davies came back too. How well did that go? No Paul Dini, by the way. No Paul
And
Dini.
that's the reason why Batman the animated series did so well, is the stories. The art, phenomenal. Bruce Timm's art direction, phenomenal. But Paul Dini stories. Heart of Ice, right there, man.
No, I watched the series and it was mostly boring. It was mostly incredibly boring. And in some cases, Batman's a side character in his own show.
Wasted opportunity, man. Wasted opportunity, as always.
Luca, sorry, for $10 says X-Ray Girl needs a beard. Why?
Because we all have beards. Somebody said I
everyone
needed
has a
glasses
beard.
because you all have glasses.
Everyone's got their own thing.
Okay.
That they're
I mean, I
different,
have
you
a
know?
beard
I got
right
mine.
here. I
No-
could put it
no
on,
beard.
but no.
As long as it's not
No
some,
glasses.
as long as it's not some weird kink. I mean, like you do you. It's okay, but
The
Oh,
blue light.
look, we're
Yeah, my blue light.
matchy. I love it.
you dressed up as me for Halloween.
He looks
Yeah.
like a hipster now.
You kind
I
of
do have a little bit of that.
He went
Garrett?
full hipster
Sure.
there. Yeah.
You gotta
Oh,
have black
God, yeah.
frames though for that.
Some
The
real
only
glasses.
thing missing
need some big-
is his man bun.
Yeah, it's not long enough.
Yet.
Yet?
Oh, I'll cut that
keeping it
shit
short
off.
now.
You grow that
Again?
You grow that back, I will cut that fucking
Sharpen
thing.
the shears next time.
It did look
You
painful.
gave them to me.
Those were fresh off the factory floor when I bought them.
Yeah,
They were.
they're not meant for hair.
They aren't.
They are
that was
funny.
very entertaining.
They were. It was fun to watch for sure.
Zeus play for $10. Hi guys, great show. There is a guy with an interesting theory about the pyramids as chemical plants. He has a channel, the land of Chem. Might be a good guest. Also, Johanna, LOL.
Was it Christopher Dunn? No, Christopher.
The
He was
land.
on Rogan. Remember that guy that was talking about the pyramids being like a chemical.
That's Christopher Dunn. I don't know about
It was
chemical, but
Chris-
he said power plants. It was Christopher Dunn.
Well,
But I don't know.
but he specifically was talking about how the different chambers would chemically alter the air.
Yes. He did say
Throughout
that.
the so I mean maybe that's the same problem. I'm not sure if it is, but it was interesting.
We'll find out. And Johanna's great. B Chain 315, a rant for $5. God bless the Second Amendment, the solitary piece of the American foundation that holds the government accountable and subservient. I can read it to the people. That is why dictatorships remove the rights first, always. Yeah. Have fun fighting a revolution with freaking kitchen knives. Dawnbreaker for $10. How would Smog fare in House of the Dragon? Pretty well. Some of the dragons are bigger, but Smaug is smart.
Smaug is also pretty massive.
He's pretty big.
Yeah. And he's smart.
I think Vagar is bigger, but I just watched
Vagar.
The Hobbit. But no, Smaug is smart. So I think he would pretty much win. But Smaug is also prideful, little insecure, little insecure. So maybe. B Chain 315 for rant for $5. A rant for $5 had this. And the sad thing is, people in nations with gun bans still have plenty of stabbings, acid attacks, vehicular murder. It's almost as though the weapon bans don't stop criminal psychopaths. Funny, isn't it? Yeah.
What? Huh. Wow.
Cape Gabe for $5. UK Prime Minister said they'd ID everyone at the rally and January 6th them. Yep. Well, it worked. Why not do it again? That's how they'll keep people in line. Coming back to the US next year, globalists play to win. Yes, they do.
And they play the long game.
And they play the long game, and we need to remember that. And, you know, if you would have asked me what I said on January 6th when it was happening, it wasn't on the day, but it was day before, a couple days after. I was talking to Jeremy on a live stream about it, and we both said the same thing. It's a fucking trap you should have never walked into. Period. When they're opening the fucking doors for you, they're suckering you into a trap, and nobody should have gone in, but they did.
Yeah.
And then when they did go in, it was pretty fucking peaceful. A woman did get murdered, shot in the face by a cop.
By the state.
All of a sudden, by the state.
Who's still
all of a sudden,
free. Who's still walking free.
Oh, yeah. But that cop's okay. That cop's okay. But all the other ones.
Not to mention the 16 different government agencies that weren't even communicating. Like, I'm talking zero communication between between each other, that all had their own assets on the ground, in the Capitol, in the crowd, wearing Trump gear. Like, this all came out years later, and suddenly we find out oh wow, well, how do you know if the person next to you is a veteran or another person in another agency? Well, we really didn't. They weren't even communicating. It's
Nope.
dude,
if
I was there. All right, I was there on January 6th in the Capitol. I marched with everybody to the Capitol. I listened to Trump speak. He stopped speaking at 1:15, 1:20, and all the shit started going down at 1 before Trump even finished. And no one was leaving because guess what? Everyone was there to listen to Trump speak. We started going, and then when we got to the Capitol, all the shit that was going on, all those videos, the pictures that you see of all the shit that went down was on the other side of the Capitol building. So you're telling me these people went from where Trump was to the left Trump thing early to go to the Capitol and go all the way to the other side of the Capitol to then cause a ruckus? None of it makes any sense.
No,
it's
it
all
doesn't.
bullshit.
Makes no sense.
Yep.
Pelosi was there. She denied the help from the National Reserve. Like, well, why?
And there's people still locked up. There's people still locked up to this day.
It's insane.
It's totally insane.
Don't even get me started.
No. Summer of Love, though. Summer of Love was fine. Summer of Love was just fucking fine. Mark Demshock for $10. 25 months younger than Gary. Have dogs named Nicholas and Violet. Call them by names from dogs I had 25 years ago. There you go. Must have taken one too many hits in a stick fights growing up. Maybe. Brackish for $2. Can I email you some stories I can't afford to hear? Yeah, of course. Yes, please. Gary at nerdrotic.com. Hi King Fanor, Alpha Chad of Middle Earth. What's up, brother? For $5. Here's 5 for the coffers. Hope everyone is well. I am well, and I can't wait.
Cheers.
For the fellowship. I mean, the fellowship's always there, but I do miss exchanging memes and the one good thing about Rings of Power is it got more people to read Tolkien, like real Tolkien. So they read the Silmarillion and they read the books. The book sales went up, and I'm all for that. I'm all fucking for that. I miss hanging with the fellowship, so I am looking forward to that in a couple weeks. That's going to be good fun.
Yeah,
good fun. No matter what happens. I think
we nice rewatch.
Yeah, we got a supercut coming out of Rings of Power season 1. Right? We should probably do that soon.
Drop that soon. What do you think? The week before? Like a primer?
A little longer. Well, let me think about that.
Let me know. It's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
I want to add a little intro just to.
Yeah, I probably got to add a little, maybe 2 weeks before. Maybe. Flatline for £5 The handless are
the handles.
The handles. Why did I say handless?
The handless.
Handles. The handless. The handles are asymmetrical. They're further to one side, but the walls are thicker on the other side to balance. It's harder than basic symmetry. Clyde Dashing is gifted 1 Nerdrotic Live membership for $5. Hail. Thank you. Curtis Hart for $4.99. The odd stone circle could have been the ancient version of spinning rims. Stick it on the outside of a chariot wheel.
But it predates the wheel. I see what you're saying.
Okay.
So it's a chariot spinning rims. There you go. Jose Taco, what's up? Saw you yesterday. Thanks for the $1.99. The Nephilim were bigger, faster, stronger, and smarter than us before the flood killed them all. The Tower of Babel and later pyramid structures was men trying to bring down the sons of God to create the Nephilim again. I will make a video on it soon. Dude, do it.
I like that.
Nick Groney for $4.99. They used the power of many. Yes, they did. They did. Brad Young for $5. For an idea on moving giant rocks, just search the YouTube old man moves 20-ton block by hand, then scale up the manpower and time. It's low tech.
I have seen that. Seen that.
Did he move it up a mountain? Did he move it up
12 hours in a car?
Did he move it up let's go to Peru? Did he move it up a 10,000 foot mountain? Yeah. Well, there's also Coral Castle. We could talk about Coral Castle someday. One guy did that. Syndec for $2. $2 to keep the lights on for 10 minutes. Hail, Gary. Hail to you. I got to talk to you soon for something.
That is a good example. I will say that is a good example. That old man that figured out like leverage and how he did stuff. But yeah, on the scales of these projects, it's just insane. Insanity.
Clyde Dashing for $5. It's important to keep this menace unhindered. 50 Shades of Grayson for $2. As Grayson, we condemn that particular Grayson. There you go. Yes. Eric K for $2. I have been an idiot since 199. Yes, you have, Eric. Or are you talking about me? Louis C for $5. Mr. Gayrotic, where were you on J6th? I was not at the insurrection, but I had a massive erection.
Oh, TMI.
Oh,
good for you, man. Good for you.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
Still can do it.
Wow.
Nick Froney for $4.99. We may not be the smartest chat, but we do. But we do. Yes. LeGarrett for $1.99. I just realized nobody is talking about Disney DEI Cinderella remake. What's up with that? Lots of people will talk about it. I'm sure. I didn't even know it was a thing. But
Is there a new one?
Allegedly?
Shad's gonna blow.
Shad's gonna blow his
man.
fucking top. Yeah. I don't cover the fairy tale stuff. I'll leave that to other people. Brimstone Streamlabs for $5. Y'all recommend amazing titles to read, but I never get all of them. Can you compile a list of books you call recommendations as well as a personal suggestions? I would be super helpful because I want to read more about many of the topics on here. I have some on this. It's this Amazon affiliate thing, but you can't get all the
Can't get them all
through
there.
Amazon. So I will do one there, and then we'll have X-Ray Girl work on a list where we can put it on.
We have a short list.
We'll put it on nerdrotic.com, and that way there'll be some page there that somebody can go to. That'd be easy enough, right?
There is a short list in every description of every episode. At the very bottom, list of books. Graham Hancock, Robert Schoch is in there. A bunch of different ones down there. So
You
if you want to go in there, Human.
Yep.
Go
We
check
can
them out.
eventually compile the list and put it on our website. That would be the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Be easy. Eric K for $5 is the last one. Idiot. I dot is the I dot, not idiot. I'm explaining it is a G&G thing for weeks. Oh, I wasn't there, so I'm not aware of the lore. I'm not aware of the lore.
Sounds like Jay just being Jay.
I missed a few dailies traveling. I usually catch them all. All right.
Catch them all.
Gotta catch them all. That's it. I got to run off and watch House of the Dragon.
Something good.
Can't wait. And then, I won't have to do 2 live streams on a Sunday.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right. That's all right. We got a nooner tomorrow on Rumble. Sometime between now and Tuesday, I'm making a video. Not sure on what yet. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And what do you got coming up, Garrett?
I have nothing except my second channel, Nega Garrett. That's right. NEGA Garrett. My second channel. I'm kind of using it as stretching out my editing styles in different directions and doing IRL interviews and man on the street stuff. So it's a lot of fun. Messing around. I haven't dropped one yet, but if you want to be over there, one's dropping this month. Go subscribe. But that's it. In normal world, I do that too.
Oh, they got the first look of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms up. Little teaser. You'll probably see the trailer tonight. Interesting.
It's the
next show. It premieres early 2025. So Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's Dunk and Egg. So it's short stories. Another unfinished book series, by the way. Just want to point that out. Adam, what do you got coming up?
Well, I got Base Staff Monday. Every Monday we do. We got a group of hilarious guys that get together on my channel and we talk about random stuff and who knows. So we can just kind of shoot the shit for a couple hours and it's always a lot of fun. And then I got my daily show, of course. Sometime in the next couple weeks, I'm gonna have a few days off. I don't know how long until I get back. My child's gonna be born. My firstborn is on the way. So yeah, I just kind of hope
you're kind of waiting
smooth. Yeah,
you're in limbo.
I can't wait. You're in a holding pattern right now.
I'm in a holding pattern. Yeah, so there's gonna be a moment of time where you probably won't see me for a little bit. But it's for the best reason in the world. But I'm looking forward to that more than anything in my entire life. So, but yeah, come tune in. I kind of have a digital baby shower going on right now, where I have a Throne site where people have been buying me baby stuff and diapers.
Oh, a Throne wish list.
Yeah, it's awesome. Pretty great. And I haven't even Nisha keeps giving me stuff. She's like, here, put this on there. So like she's kind of curating this like baby stuff and it's great. People could just buy baby stuff for us and it comes right to our house and it's fantastic.
What's the website?
It's just
throne.com slash
throne.com/Adam Krigler.
There you go.
You're gonna need some diapers.
Lots of them.
A lot.
And people have bought some diapers and I really appreciate all the help. So thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Adam. What do you got coming up, X-Ray Girl?
I am going to be building shelves this week because I'm going to be building the official kind of nerd library. I'm going to move all this stuff so that it's in the living space. So I don't know if I'm going to stream that or not. We'll see. And Expert Girl Everywhere. There is a Nerdrotic Art Contest going on right now. If you are interested and have some talent in that region, your submissions, you want 3 examples of Gary being happy, angry, and confused, sent to nerdroticart@gmail.com. The winner will be selected to draw a couple panel pages in the biography. And it's closed August 16th. So pretty cool.
Pretty cool. All
Information in the description if you're looking for that.
All right. So I'm going to set up the live stream now, I guess, right after this. And in about an hour and a half, depending on the length of the episode, I will be joined by...
You are gay.
I will be joined by Ryan Kinnell, Fringy, Mahler, and Shad, the whole gang.
Hey.
So we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks for watching Forbidden Frontier. Next week, what do we want to do? Do we know? We'll figure it out.
Always figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We
We're
always
gonna do a fun show. And we'll
Gerardson with the 20 Mexican pesos.
basically we have to draw 3 nerdrotic emojis. Basically, yes. I mean, just all confused. It's kind of the same face, whatever. But there you go. So hot D time. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week. Ciao.
Bye.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.